Paco, and yeah. Get some sleep. I'll be ready. Tell me a number to call, because I got a couple different phones right now, and it's a weird situation. You already know, for entertainment purposes only.
I am T.W.D, and this is the manual. Do me a favor, don't take yourself so serious. Wipe your Timbs off at the door. We're here for not the flagship episode, not the penultimate episode. Give me an adjective, Daddy.
These are like the.
He can't do it. He just can't answer. He's got to go into his brain and get logic. He couldn't throw a word at me.
I'm trying to find the word that
all it took was any word would have worked.
I don't know which word to give you.
The greatest episode that you're ever going to listen to.
The T.W.D, even though it may not be the best, but they can hate.
No, it is the best.
Well, no, that's
not. We
just
talked about this 35 seconds ago.
No.
We're the best.
The T.W.D is the best, but what I'm saying is they may not come out as the best in every single situation, but there's no situation you can put them in that they can't find a way to manage.
They can't come out of. That's a solid way. I think that the crux is acceptance and inclusion. So I was watching, there's a guy named Tommy G.
Okay.
Tommy G's a YouTube kid.
All right.
And he's popping. He blew up over the past couple of months.
Go for him.
I stumbled across him when he had less than 100,000.
Right.
Now, I don't know. He's getting 1 million on views. I don't know what his subscriber count is, but he's up there.
But he's popping.
Dude, it seems to be a Midwestern T.W.D. Clean-cut kid, but he walks through any situation, and he's himself, and he seems to be accepted in any situation he walks into because he's like, hey, I'm just me. I'm just a white kid from Minnesota.
The authenticity kind of gets you over.
Mm-hmm. So Tommy G goes to St. Louis to film a video called The Most Dangerous City in America.
Okay.
Which apparently in St. Louis, it's wild easy to get a gun.
All right.
Like, you don't need a license. You turn 18, show them some form of ID, and they give you,
go down to the post office
whatever you're looking for. Yeah. Now, he's on the block with a bunch of black kids and one white dude.
Okay.
Besides
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
This white kid runs with he's from the hood. He's like, now, it's long been thought, like, every hood that I've ever been through, and there's been a few, I've been in some rough spots.
Sure.
Hung out in some rough spots, passed through some rough spots.
Who hasn't?
Every hood that I've ever been through has a white Mike.
A white Mike.
Now, white Mike may be really popular in that hood, or he might be a NPC.
Okay.
Right? But there's a white Mike in most every hood. So this white Mike, Michael Henderson, who also goes by the name of Luh Wick.
Luh Wick. All right.
Little Wick.
Luh Wick or Luh Wick?
Well, he spells it L-U-H, so it's Luh.
Like Luh Wick?
Luh Wick. Pardon. We're going French today. In honor of Luh Wick.
Oui.
Luh Wick looks a lot like a dirty kid from Vineland.
Okay.
He's got the dirtball mustache.
Right.
You know, a number 2 shaved all around, a little bit of acne.
Right.
Probably, he's maybe, he's regular height, 5'9", 5'10", weighing in at like 140.
Scruff on his Adam's apple.
Yeah, dude. Dusty, dirty looking kid, but he's hanging out in the most dangerous hood in America. So I look at the kid and I go, okay, Lil Wick, I see you, whatever. And didn't think of it twice. This week, I find out, everyone, who is your favorite president?
Well, it's President's Day. He's
staying
on topic.
I'd say it's probably the Dominican cerveza El Presidente. Would be my favorite president.
That's good drinking.
So I find out this week, Luh Wick is sitting, Michael Henderson is sitting right now with murder charges because he did some John Wick stuff, right?
Okay.
He lived up to his name. Now, I don't know if he earned the name because of his actions or if he felt like he had to live up to the name, so he decided to hop on a motorcycle and pull a shooting in traffic. He's wheeling a dirt bike with a switch in his hand.
All right.
In a more serious note, though, right? I think that a lot of people outside of even in our generation, right? You look at this kid who's in a black neighborhood making drill music and gets himself into a violent situation where now he's screwed for the rest of his life.
Right.
And I think that a lot of people immediately look at that and go, well, it serves you right, dummy. What were you doing?
As if you had options.
Well, that's where it comes in.
Right.
And I'm not, he did have options. But there wasn't somebody there to like guide him towards the options. So now the best that we can hope for Luh Wick is that 15 years from now, he finds a hiccup in his case, in his paperwork, right?
Okay.
Like, I don't think it would, if they free Luh Wick tomorrow,
Right.
it's no good.
He won't have learned anything.
No.
Okay.
He's 18 years old. He's out in the streets making drill music, running drills. The guy that he shot, from my brief research, doesn't appear to be gang affiliated. Now, I don't know what the story is. I couldn't get to the story. I've heard that it was his stepfather.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how much truth there is to that. I don't have it like on a solid account. I tried to dig up the paperwork from the St. Louis court system, but I didn't have the time to do that either.
Gotcha.
So now the kid's sitting on a murder trial. He's quite possibly doing the rest of his life in jail.
Yeah.
And that,
because he's sitting on first degree.
Right. And that may be the thing that keeps this kid from losing his life. Right? Because if you're out in the streets and you're on dirt bikes doing shootings at 2 p.m. in the afternoon in traffic against somebody who's not even gang affiliated, this isn't even gang war stuff. The guy was like a 40-year-old white dude.
Yeah, 42.
You're on a crash course for getting yourself shot or locked up.
Right.
Getting locked up is the better of the choices.
Yeah.
Now,
you're at least a little bit safe, depending on who you pissed off, but you're at least a little bit safe.
Now, in the comments of everything that I've watched or read about Luh Wick, there's at least a few people saying like, oh, now he's going to get his buns took in prison. Like, it's all goes to like, oh, he's going to be real sweet in prison.
Right.
However, this is from people, this is like the ignorance, right?
Okay.
Because Luh Wick is TWD certified. You don't get to hang on that block in that neighborhood running drills with those guys without being certified by your neighborhood. Right? I don't know if he was born there. He could have been in foster care and wound up living there. Maybe as far as I know, there's been a couple of real hard white dudes who came out of St. Louis neighborhoods, right?
Right.
Luh Wick is just at the early stages of that. So he's going to go into the joint and he's going to be okay because his boys are in there. His neighborhood is in there.
Right.
He's of the neighborhood. He's not going to go in where he's like some kid from, 50 miles outside of St. Louis who was trying to play tough and play gangster. From everything that I could tell, the kid's really a thug.
Right. So two questions.
Yeah.
One is, as much as his block is going to be in there when he goes in, aren't the rival blocks also going to be in there as well?
Yeah, and I don't know how it works in Missouri
Sure.
State Prison. There's a lot of spots where my understanding is that like your block and the beef that you're having with your block goes out the window when you make it to state.
When we're communal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it becomes kind of a bigger scale. California, it becomes race. Chicago, you divide into folk nation and people nation, which is like which category does your block fall under?
Okay.
So I don't know how that they function in St. Louis, but I'm sure that if this guy has the heart to do some dumb activities like he did, he's going to have the heart to put a toothbrush in you if you try and take his ramen noodles.
Right. So
I don't see him having a problem.
Okay.
I see him getting himself where I see him. I think this is the kind of guy that needs to be locked up in order to grow into the man that he's supposed to be. because he wouldn't be in that spot without proper guidance and proper male role models. He wouldn't be in a place where he's at right now.
Okay.
So now the best we can hope for him is that instead of going in and being a hot boy and putting the pedal to the metal while he's in the joint, which he probably will do that for a few years, and then one day he's going to hit 24, 25, and he's going to go, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Right.
At which point there will be somebody there to help with his guidance, whether he turns to religion or just to the power of himself.
Right.
Because
no one's more religion.
No one's more powerful than you.
Right. You're your own God.
And hopefully at that point, 7 years from now, he starts really doing some legal paperwork and can find himself a loophole in his case 15 years from now when he's 32
right.
and ready to come out and actually restart and have a decent life.